The charts call it the Kronos Void, a place where the horizon doesn't meet the sky. It dissolves into dust. Captain Caleb didn't want the future. He wanted to fix the past. He found the Aeon Glass, an artifact that leaks the sand of centuries. When he brought it aboard the Eternal Wanderer, the ocean didn't storm. It stopped. The waves turned into dunes of glowing gold. Caleb didn't find a way back. He found a way to be everywhere and nowhere at once. In the reef, time doesn't heal, it erodes. It started with the compass. The needle didn't point north. It spun until it turned into fine glass dust. Then, the curse reached the men. One moment a sailor was a boy of 20, the next a withered husk of 90, still holding the same rope. Their skin began to flake away, not as flesh, but as shimmering grains of sand. We weren't aging, we were sifting. The ship was no longer a home. It was a leaking vessel of memories, where every footstep echoed a year that hadn't happened yet. The transformation was a beautiful, terrifying decay. Caleb watched as his mast splintered into millions of floating wooden shards, held together only by a golden magnetic force. The sails became veils of falling sand, catching the winds of history. Our cannons fired time slugs projectiles that didn't explode. They aged enemy ships 1,000 years in a second, turning oak to rot and iron to rust before they could even fire back. A silent war of particles and prayers. From the swirling dunes rose the Sentinel of Aeons, a colossal titan formed from floating stones and broken hourglasses, its eyes twin rifts in the fabric of time. It didn't roar. It whispered the names of ships that haven't been built yet. It watched as Caleb reached for the artifact, his arm turning into a skeletal hand of solid amber. The Sentinel was the guardian of the timeline, and we were just more dust for its collection. We weren't pirates anymore, we were moments lost in the storm. In the golden mist, we saw them. Our own selves, laughing on the decks of ships we had long since lost. The mirror reach showed us the lives we could have had. Sailors reached out to touch their younger hands, only to watch them dissolve into dry particles. It was a torture of what-ifs. We were sailing through a graveyard of choices, where the only thing more dangerous than the sand was the regret that kept us anchored to the dunes. The ocean around us was no longer liquid. It was a thick, glowing sea of fine golden sand and black parchment. Caleb walked across the deck, his footprints aging and disappearing into rot in seconds. Beneath the surface, he could see the history of the world's end steamships and triremes, all fused into a single, massive reef of bone and brass. He realized he wasn't a captain. He was a relic, a ghost in a machine that had forgotten how to stop. The Aeon Glass demanded a final sacrifice. It replaced our blood with the slow, heavy flow of golden dust. Our hearts stopped beating. They became hourglasses, counting down to the moment of total erasure. Caleb embraced the decay, letting the particles fill his lungs until the world was nothing but a blur of amber light. He found the peace he craved, but it was the peace of a desert. A world where you are eternal, but you are only a grain in a nameless pile. The ship began to dive, but it didn't sink. It broke apart, each plank drifting upward like a falling star. We descended through layers of frozen time and forests of giant ticking gears. Each fathom was heavier, the pressure of the twilight indigo trying to crush our memories into a single point of light. We reached the core of the void, a place where the gravity of the earth is made of pure history. We weren't at the bottom of the sea, we were at the end of the world's clock. Caleb sat on a throne of fused hourglasses, his face a mosaic of every age he had ever been. He was the sovereign of sand, the master of a realm that was always ending and never beginning. He could feel the movement of every grain and the ticking of every lost second in the abyss. He had found his fix, but it was a fix that broke the world. He was the wrecked pirate of the Hourglass Reef, a monument to the danger of wanting more time than you were given. Do not seek the Aeon Glass, sailors. Yesterday is a ghost, and tomorrow is a trap.